Ellis driving baseline. What a dive!
Wickham, how sweet was that? Step back three,
Wow.
Taylor George. She's got a flamethrower at the moment.
Shelley with a big triple.
It was acrobatic, it was impressive, it was Steph Talbot.
Jade Melvin, the lefty lay-in. Capitals continue to roll. Perth have been unconscious from three. Alice Koenig connects.
She's pumped up, and so she should be.
Welcome to the Adelaide 36ers Arena, where it's the Adelaide Lightning hosting the UC Capitals in a Friday night Signet WNBL special. When these two teams last met, just 1 point split them. So what could tonight hold in store? Can Jade Melbourne lead her team to their first win since November and reach 1,000 career points? Or can the likes of Izzy Borlase and Izzy Bourne continue to thrive under new coach Scott Ninnis and guide their team to a victory? Stay tuned as Julia Montesano and Vic Country Women's head coach Zoe Carr bring you the action. Welcome, Zoe.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here to watch these two teams that, as you said, will be eager to get back on the winners list.
Absolutely. Before we get into tonight's game, we've got to see how things stand across the competition, because it's a really important game in particular tonight for these two teams, because Adelaide, they sit 4th and the Capitals sit 8th.
Yeah, so obviously Adelaide have gone on a bit of a run of late, which until they met the Spirit last round, but they'll be looking to continue that form and get themselves and really try and cement themselves into that top 4.
And you can see around the leagues as well. We know the Spirit, they were red hot last night up against the Flames, and the Flames dropped down to 5th. So the ladder's heating up. Everyone's getting super close. And tonight is, of course, the second game of round 10. And last night, as we mentioned, we did see Bendigo put on a clinic against Sydney to remain on top of the table. And both these teams tonight are also back in action on Sunday, Zoe. So a big test coming up.
Yeah, and it'll be a really important game for them just to get back on track for obviously Adelaide and make sure that they are playing the way that they want to play. But the Caps are really looking to clinch that win and get themselves, back on track the way they want to be playing.
So Adelaide, they're coming off a 28-point loss to Bendigo in round 9. How do they bounce back from that loss, Zoe?
I think they weren't actually that bad against Bendigo. Bendigo were just very good. So they just need to continue to play their game, play their running game, look to get out, get the ball inside to the likes of Bourne and Turner. But also defensively, they have been so good lately. So they want to make sure they continue that form and really try and stifle the Caps as early as possible. They have to take care of the ball because we know how often the Caps like to capitalise on turnovers.
And the key to tonight's contest, of course, is Isabel Borlase, who's coming off 18 points, 4 rebounds and 2 assists against Bendigo. She just continues to elevate her game in this league.
She's just so exciting, and she's such a great prospect for the future as well. It's hard to believe how young she is, the things she's able to do. So, if she can continue to be a leader and put those sort of points on the board, it'll be great things for Adelaide.
Well, switching our focus to the Capitals now, and they were gutsy against Perth on Sunday, going down by just 8 points, but they have also lost their past 5 games. They've been playing some good basketball in patches, though, but Paul Goros has repeatedly spoken about consistency, which will be really important for them tonight.
Yeah, they've got to put it together. It sounds like an old cliche because it is, but they've got to play 4 quarters, and you see those little youth sort of errors that start to trickle in. Tends to be just after half-time and the start of the 4th quarter. So they need to make sure that they're putting that all together and playing the way that they want to play for the entirety of the game.
Well, I mentioned briefly off the top, Jade Melbourne needs just 4 points to reach 1,000 WNBL career points. She was well on track on Sunday just before the Caps dropped off a bit in the second half, but she really is worth the price of admission. It's going to be a great milestone for her to achieve.
She is, and it's really exciting, and I can guarantee you, knowing her, she's not thinking about that at all. She just wants to, wouldn't care if she didn't score at all as long as the Caps get the win. But it's a really nice accolade for her to be able to reach that milestone and again, continue to lead these Caps and hopefully lead them to a win.
Well, we saw the starting 5s just on your screen before, but just to reiterate it is Talbot, Borlase, Andrews, Turner and Bourne. Tonight's referees are James Griggle, Bailey Dyer and Danica Shepherd. And then the starting 5 for the Caps are Horvat, Melbourne, Munger, Potch and Collier. And a big congratulations to Nicole Munger, who plays her 50th WNBL career game tonight. A really awesome milestone for her.
Yeah, milestones like that, they don't come along that often. I know it can seem like 50 games is easy to reach. In this league, it's not. So congratulations to her, and I really hope she brings that energy that she has for the Caps, and they put on a good show.
So it's 4th versus 8th at the Adelaide 36ers Arena in round 10 of the Signet WNBL. And the home team win the tip. Of course, last time these two teams met, just 1 point separated them. Adelaide have won 4 of the past 5 games between these two teams. But the Caps have been playing some pretty good basketball. They haven't won since November, but have came very close in a few of their games. They'll be looking to get back on the winners list, as will Adelaide, of course. We did speak about their last game against Bendigo.
And a pretty good defensive set from the Caps first up. Just a little bit of miscommunication on who was going to come up with that off the rebound. But switching off that down screen off the weak side guard, it's really effective, and it really threw Adelaide out of their rhythm.
Let's see if they can get back into their rhythm through Borlase. Known shooter. Ball spins around. Can't get it to go. Let's see if the Caps can get their offensive game going and get the first points on the board of this game. Jade Melbourne not too far away from those 1,000 career points. A double-double with points and assists in the last game, but that pass was just a bit errant. And Talbot's able to finish it off for Adelaide. The first points of the game.
Those that know me know that I'd be really happy with that transition because it wasn't a bounce pass. But again, it's the things that the Caps, they need to make sure they take care of the basketball. Don't give those easy looks to Adelaide, because that will help them then get into their rhythm offensively.
2 good defensive sets there from the Lightning. Force the Caps into some tough shots, and Bourne makes that one look easy.
And their third defender has to come across and at least stunt on that, make her think about it, not allow her to catch in rhythm. They did a good job defending the on-ball screen, but there's no way that the screeners D can get back in that amount of time. They've got to have that third defender come in and just make her hesitate a little bit.
Some fast start from the Lightning, 5 points to 0 to start off this one. Of course, the new coach, Scott Ninnis, having a pretty good run under him.
And I like to see this from Poch early. I want her to be aggressive and use her athleticism, use her length, and try and really put Adelaide's defense under pressure.
Here is Nadia Poch. Kicks it out this time, but Bourne able to cut it off. As Borlase ahead of her. Has to go backwards for a sec. Borlase ends up with it in the corner. Can't knock it down. That's a really unfortunate error for the Caps.
And just a bit of a miscommunication. As a coach, you're happy that 2 athletes are going after the board so hard, but one of them's just got to declare it, and so that you don't have these little errors. But if that's the intent of the Caps, you'd be pretty happy.
Oh, and that wouldn't have been the intent of the Caps. Way too easy there for Bourne. Boris may have to start thinking about a timeout early on. Adelaide are on fire. Andrews now kicks it back out to Talbot. Borlase finds herself in the corner again, but this time steps out of bounds.
Just got out of jail a little bit there, the Caps, with Borlase stepping out of bounds. I would have liked to see her let that one go. I know she missed the last one, but she is such a good shooter that she should be shooting with the intent that every shot's going in.
Caps need to get going here. Get to score in the first couple of minutes of this game. Down by 7. In the right hands of Jade Melbourne. Goes underneath Talbot and makes it work.
And a great take from Melbourne. Skillful finish. She made that look easy. But we've got to see the Caps actually execute something. They can't be the scores that they're relying on for the whole game, because that's just too hard. They've got to execute. Get Talbot having to defend and run off some things to make it a little bit easier for Jade to get on the rim.
Career points, 998 for Jades. Just 2 more to their 1,000. But Izzy Bourne says, let me have some points and get in on the action. A really fast start. A young Adelaide star. How good's this? Adelaide guarding Melbourne. Two opals, the future of women's basketball here in Australia. Jade goes in. That one just rattles out, and it's 2 points for the 50-gamer.
And just, they're the great things that Nicole Munger brings to this team. Just those real hustle plays. She comes up with offensive boards when you need it. You see the way she's defending Talbot right now. That's got to be contagious for the rest of the group.
And again! We held our breath, thinking, could she go again? And she has. Izzy Bourne with the hottest of hot starts.
And you see her laughing because that was a bank three, but when you're shooting in that sort of rhythm and with that sort of confidence, that's what tends to happen. So the Caps have got to do a job on her. They can't allow her to be that open because she's going to keep knocking these down all game.
11 points for Izzy Bourne. We haven't even reached the midway point of the first quarter. Well, like Izzy Bourne, you're going to stay powered with Signet, Australia's favourite power bank brand. Keep your devices charged and never miss a moment. Visit signet.com to find your perfect power bank. So Izzy Bourne, 4 from 5 from the field, 100% from the three-point line. Lightning lead 13 points to 4. That is an awesome start for Scott Nealis's team.
It really is, and you can see how locked in they are, particularly at the offensive end, and they're giving up good shots for great shots. Again, sounds like another catchphrase, but that's what leads to wide open shots, and when you've got wide open shots, they're easier to make, and you put scores on the board like this. So I'd like to see the Caps, maybe there's miscommunication in their D, whether they're supposed to be switching or not supposed to be switching. So I'm sure Coach Paul Goris will be addressing that in the timeout, just to clean that up. So whatever the coverage is, so then they're all on the same page, and she doesn't, or none of the Adelaide Lightning get as open as Izzy Bourne has.
What a start from the 24-year-old.
I like the little half-court press change-up too from the Lightning, just out of that timeout. Really took the Caps out of their rhythm and out of whatever offense Coach Paul Goris just drew up.
Charlie Collier's seeming a bit frustrated out there. We know she had that mix-up there with Horvat just before the timeout as well. Jade Melbourne can't get that one to go. Andrews off and running. Izzy Bourne, can she go 4 from 4? Izzy Bourne just trickles out. That was going in for all money.
That was an absolute sigh of relief for the Caps there to see that she can actually miss them.
She's human after all, amazing. Andrews driving now. Finds Borlase. Posting up on Jade Melbourne, step back Borlase!
And a great read there from Borlase off the second cut. Gets the catch and has buried Melbourne deep. The Caps can't allow that to be one out.
Melbourne and Borlase just sharing ball handling duties there. Just great friends when they're not wearing opposite colours. Izzy Bourne, 11 points so far for the game. Talbot kicks it out to Turner. That's a beautiful pass. Just trickles out for Turner though.
Adelaide doing a great job of posting up their taller guards, the likes of Talbot and Borlase. So it's clearly a directive as Nicole Munger just hits a three again, the impact that she has. But they're going to have to make sure they do so, the Caps make sure they do something about that. They can't allow bigger guards to be just in there one-on-one against their smaller guards, or it's going to end up a long night.
Munger tried to go back-to-back, got her own rebound. That's that hustle you spoke about, Zoe. Fowler, unfortunately, just travelled under the rim. Now we'll have our first lot of subs coming into the game. So Nicole Munger comes off for a rest in her 50th WNBL game. Andrew struggling to get away from Melbourne. Oh, Borlase wide open, makes the count.
There's a little bit of a lesson in that defensive set there for any young athletes that are watching. Jade Melbourne had done an outstanding job putting the pressure on the ball handler, and then the Caps just allow a pressure release pass to the high post. That's got to be denied. So put even more pressure on that ball handler.
Good insights from Big Country Women's head coach Zoe Carr. Tofayano finds herself free, gives it to Boya, on for her first minutes of the night. Great pass there to Collier, who finishes that one off.
And a really good read from Boya there too to go baseline. They were overplaying and she took the lane, drew the defender and found Collier in that dunker spot.
Oh, beautiful pass. Turner in the air. Thanks, Talbot. Back on her way down to defend. And this is a good look between Boya and Tofayano.
Boya's had a really massive impact since coming into the game, particularly at the offensive end. She's creating for everybody just through her intent to get feet in the paint. So I'd be looking to try and run things through her a little bit more as you know both teams are starting to loosen up offensively.
Of course, Tofayano and Boya, both former Townsville teammates and now Canberra teammates. So know each other pretty well. Collier trying to step around Turner and does so successfully.
Great use of the body there too. When you've got Turner who averages 3 blocks a game, it would be a little bit scary going at her like that, but the use of the body and shift rolling off her and using the basket as a bit of a defender. Great job from Collier.
Bourne with the hot hand. That one just falls out now.
Too close.
Yep. Melbourne still looking for that basket to reach that 1,000 career points milestone. Tofayano has a look. Just off the backboard. Talbot's been getting her teammates involved to start this one. Kicks it out to Borlaise, has a look. All of a sudden that ring's got a bit of glad wrap on it or something. They've had some really good looks. They just fall out. Borlaise blocks the shot from Melbourne. She's heading to the line for 2. So Dade, of course, just needs the 2 points. Short to 1,000. Another timeout before she gets the chance to have the attempt from the charity stripe. Lightning leading 19-13. And make sure you're following all the live stats of today's game in the free WNBL app. You can also check out game highlights, team and player info, and more. Download it from the App Store today. So a good response out of the timeout there from the Caps. It's just about, I guess, holding on and then starting a bit better in the second half.
Yeah,
second quarter, sorry.
Adelaide was shooting really well to start that game, and sometimes that happens, and you just have to ride with it a little bit. But what the pleasing part was how they opened up offensively and started to get good looks and then obviously put points on the board, because scoreboard pressure against a team that's shooting really well is really important. If you don't have that, their shots will continue to be free and easy. So they've done a great job to bring that back. I'll be interested to see if they switch their defense off these free throws out of the timeout and maybe go to a press of some sort just to, again, try and throw Adelaide off their rhythm, because they are doing a great job of just finding each other fairly easily. So take them out of that rhythm and try and cause a couple of little turnovers if they can.
So Melbourne getting a bit of treatment or restrapping on that arm out of the timeout. You can see there's just got a little bandage on just below that elbow. So the Capitals captain sitting on 998 career points, now 999. Is this the moment? Fans MVP last year, first team as well. Oh, that one just goes out. She gets another chance here, Jade Melbourne. Still stuck on 999. Her teammates clearly know what the situation is, trying to get it to her again, and it just falls out. Offensive rebound. Come on, Jade. Gets it to Poch this time. And that doesn't go in either. Collier, that comes out as well. Unbelievable.
And a real let out of jail free card there for Adelaide to give up that many offensive boards in one possession. But that is an absolute killer for the Caps. They have 4 or 5 attempts at a shot and miss. Adelaide come down and score in their first shot. It's a bit of a heartbreaker there. They have to make sure they take care of the ball here and get themselves a good score.
14 first quarter points for Izzy Bourne, if you don't mind. After that three, Poch has a go from the other end. Foul on the rebound. 22 plays 14. Izzy Bourne's got the same amount of points as the entire Caps lineup so far.
She has shot the ball exceedingly well, but it's not uncommon. She can shoot the ball like this, so the Caps have to make sure they do a job on that, and it's a team effort. It's not just whoever is guarding her at the time. Everybody has to know where she is.
A late call on the Deeble drive. Good initiative from her. She goes to the line for two. You can see Monique Babongi entering the game alongside her. Deeble returned last game from a bit of an Achilles injury. He's able to get back on the score sheet with 6 points against Perth. Gets her first points on the board tonight. And makes the second one as well. Adelaide still looking to put more points on the board. They have 22 already. Ends up with Pinot. Blocked on the shot by Boya. Talbot gets it back. Just falls short. Great rebound there by Collier. And now the Caps can just slow things down. Try and finish off the quarter on a high note. Deeble getting to work on Basham. Bounce past the Tofeano to Boya. Thought about the corner shot, went for the drive. Bit too heavy on the boards. Chance for Adelaide to have the last say now. It's in the right hand. Steph Talbot, the Olympian. Won't count. With a great start from Adelaide and a great start from Izzy Bourne. 14 points at quarter time. It's Adelaide 22 leading the Capitals 14. Welcome back to the Adelaide 36ers arena. We saw an awesome opening quarter from the Adelaide Lightning. They lead the UC Capitals 22-16. And Zoe Carr, looking at the first half highlights, it was all Izzy Bourne. 14 first quarter points, including 3 triples.
Incredible start from Izzy Bourne, and something that we've become accustomed to from her in this league. But from a Caps perspective, you cannot allow her to get 4 3-point shots away at all, let alone when she's making them. So they have to do a job. They have to change their on-ball screen coverage or their screen coverage to make sure somebody is guarding her at all times. But also the Caps have 6 turnovers in that quarter. They've got to take care of the ball. So considering all of that, they're in a really good position. If they can tidy those things up, they can put pressure on this game.
Melbourne to Deeble. That's a perfect start for them.
And it's exactly what you want coming out of the quarter time break. Now they have to get a stop here just to, again, put that little bit more pressure back on the Lightning.
Oh, great footwork by Andrews. The show and go at Adelaide 36's arena. Caps ball. See, they're having a lot of fun out there at the moment, the Lightning. Deeble, one of the great young talents of the league, shares around with Melbourne. Kicks it out to Babongi. Speaking of young talent, and just comes off the backboard. Turner up against Collier. Talbot now. Mungo wearing Basham like a glove. Basham finds some room, lets it rip.
Incredible mid-range pull-up jump shot. And Katie Deeble had done an outstanding job. She got switched onto Georgia Pinot in the paint, and that is a massive mismatch, but she worked so hard to get around in front, which caused the pull-up jump shot to have to be taken, but the Lightning were just up to the task.
And there's that stop you were asking for, the Caps getting one.
Substitution, ball over the line, back in the game, is the ball
So 26 leading 19.
They've just got to string a couple of these possessions together. A couple of stops in a row and a couple of scores in a row just to bring it that little bit closer. Right now, Adelaide are still able to play fairly calm and fairly loose, but they've got to be able to put some pressure back on them. That is definitely going to help. The pick and roll, being able to put heat on the rim, play off 2 feet, take the hit. Great job by Collier there.
She's so hard to defend when she's in a mood like that. Collier gets herself to the free throw line. She's had a pretty positive start to this game. 4 points and 3 rebounds. Of course, she put in a monster stint when these two teams last played. 27 points and 22 rebounds. So I wonder if she's got a bit of that in her tonight. Just misses there. There's the way when you talk them up. Basham now. And just falls short. Melbourne 1 point away from 1,000 career points. Shares with the Bongi in the corner and then gets it back. Guarded by Boylays. Melbourne. Eventually Basham gets a hold of it. All blue jerseys ahead of her. Just goes herself though. There's no problems with it.
You can see, though, the pressure that Adelaide are putting on the Caps' defensive transition. Even if they're not going all the way to the basket, they're running in transition and making it difficult for the Caps to find their players as early as possible. And so you see there's nobody there to help, and it's just straight 1v1. Whereas the Caps are more walking the ball up the floor a little bit more, playing a little bit slower. I'd like to see them push the ball a little bit more and really test out Adelaide's defensive transition.
So Basham goes 2 from 2 to 4 points for the game. Adelaide's lead extends.
A little half-court press out of the free throw again. You see the Caps not really getting into any sort of offense until there's 14 seconds to go. Exactly what you want out of your press.
Deeble launches. Talbot collects the rebound. Oh, and Turner hits the deck there. Foul called on Munga.
Yeah, Munga just jumped in the lane there trying to slow Turner down and just was a little overzealous with that one. But again, as a safety in defensive transition, you want them to be slowing down any what we call rim runner, which is a big that's running towards the rim. So yeah, as a coach, you never want anybody to foul, but you'd be okay in accepting of that one.
And you'd be accepting of that Potch collects there as it ends up with Collier, and she converts the 2.
And great ball movement. You see they pushed the ball down the floor, they moved it quickly, they forced Adelaide to have to defend and rotate and were able to find the open player. That's the sort of basketball that Caps need to be playing.
Boylays just splits the defense, gets the rebound off Talbot's shot, gives her another go. And eventually Munga pushes through. Those navy jerseys. Collier can go back to back. She can.
And the Caps this is the little run that they needed just to, again, put that pressure. And that's what you see with that pressure. Mistakes like that where, you know, you just sort of, you get a little bit loose with the ball. You're wanting the ball out of your hands as a big. You don't want to be dribbling there. So guards have got to come probably a little bit earlier and relieve her of the ball there. But again, that scoreboard pressure starts to generate those sort of errors.
All of a sudden, it's a 2-point ball game. Caps were down by 6 at quarter time. A chance to level it or go ahead here. Nadia Poch with the drive and fouled. So a chance to head to the line and level things up for Nadia Poch. And 2 errors in a row there from Turner. Backcourt pass and then the foul there on Poch.
Poch doing a great job of using her offhand there to also draw contact. It's really difficult as the referee in gameplay to see that. We've got the luxury of a replay, but you see that she really protected the ball with her offhand, which caused that foul to be called, which is massive for the Caps because now Turner thinks twice as their leading shot blocker. She's now thinking twice as to whether she attempts to change shots.
So scores level here in Adelaide. After the Lightning got off to that fast start, the Caps have grinded their way back into the game. Olaise can get them going again. Steps back on Munga. One just falls short. Chance for the Caps to take the lead for the first time in this game. Adelaide had the first 5 points. The Caps have caught up. One just falls short, but Munga's been taking those long threes. I think one's going to drop eventually. For the 50 gamer. Andrews now. Olaise, corner 3, nailed it!
Really tough defensive decision there for Jade Melbourne because the roller was going on the rim and she was the one that is there to be able to, what we call tag it or catch it. Great job even from the passer to just sort of show that they were going to send it to the roller, which drew Jade in and opened up Olaise. The Caps need to have that third defender again, just so then they can be confident at catching those rollers because you can't allow them to get off either.
Good sets of passes there, and it ends up with a Turner 2. That's better from the Lightning. They ended a 6-0 run with that Olaise 3, and now the Turner 2. Boyer trying to get the advantage back and does so.
And a great little keeper from Boyer there, like faked the handoff and turned the corner. But you just saw for a while there that the Lightning just went a little bit individual, a little bit stagnant. Now they're working off their pick and roll. They're working off their penetration and dish, and their scores are starting to come back freely.
And scarily for Paul Goretz, Izzy Olaise is now starting to get going. Izzy Bourne had the hot hand in the first, now Olaise, and now Munga! Nothing for him to be worried about. Munga's doing great in her 50th game. Cavs back within 2. They're back again, just getting tangled.
Munga just trying to fight to get between the screener and her player, and just a little bit late. She can jump to the ball and be there a little bit earlier. She'll be able to scoot through that gap and not have any worries. But, you know, when it's Bourne coming off that screen, you want to be as aggressive as possible.
And Turner was able to rise up and complete the points for Bourne. Turner had a quiet outing against Bendigo. She's looking to improve her scoring and her impact tonight. So too Charlie Collier. She loves playing against the Lightning.
Boyer has been massive offensively. She has created so much for the Caps. You just see coming off pick and roll play, looking to attack the basket and finding people in receiver spots. We mentioned it in the first quarter. I'd like to see more run through her to be able to create for others.
2 points and 3 assists for Boyer. Poch likes it. Timeout called. Caps on a roll, and they take the lead for the first time tonight.
And a good timeout from Coach Scott Nennis here, because Caps momentum is swinging their way. So you just want to try and stem that as quickly as possible and get back to what was working for the Lightning.
Well, we're calling all sports teams say goodbye to travel headaches and hello to CTM Sport. CTM are 100% committed to delivering excellence in our field. Leave the logistics to the travel experts so your athletes can focus on what they do best. Learn more at ctmsport.com.au. So an 18-14 second term from the Caps, Zoe. They've had a really great response, and all of a sudden for Adelaide, they're having to fight a bit.
Yeah, and it's really good to see as well. And, you know, the Lightning did start on a pretty good hot streak the way they were shooting. But the Caps did a great job of adjusting. Now it's the Lightning's turn to adjust to what the Caps are doing to them, to try and get back to the offensive flow that they had. So playing off that pick and roll, trying to get feet in the paint. And I want to see them sort of work their second cutters a little bit more. So getting their feet in the paint, somebody cutting at the same time, because the Caps tend to turn their heads and look at that driver or whoever's putting heat on the rim. So they'll be able to get some wide open layups there and continue to tick the scoreboard over. But credit to the Caps of the way that they've fought and they've found their offensive flow again.
Caps are searching for their first win since November. They've lost their last 5 games. Putting a really gutsy performance against Perth. Bourne just missing out there. Zoe, I know you love the work of Boya. It's in the right hands again. Horvat can't complete it. Give her another assist. Ball lays now to Turner. Bumping herself off Horvat and making a really tough shot.
Great take by Turner there too. Like, good D from Horvat, not much more she could have done, but to be able to take that hit and play off one foot and have the balance to get the little floater in there was really impressive.
What a great battle of the bigs we have. Collier down the other end gets herself another 2, both on double-double watch. Turner with the 6 points and 10 rebounds. Collier with the 12 points and 7 rebounds.
You can just see Jade Melbourne here. She's hunting the ball already coming off of split line. Just got a little overzealous there. Probably just needs to just be there and force that pressure given how close Bourne was to the baseline. But that intent defensively is really good from the Caps. They need to make sure they're being disruptive and not allow Adelaide just to pick and choose what they do.
Another rebound for Collier. Here is Jade Melbourne. Can she fire up offensively? 3 points for her so far tonight. Tries to go baseline. Steps around Andrews and doesn't get the shot to go. Talbot now off and running. Beautiful pass again to Turner. 1 to come.
And great job from Talbot just to continue to attack the rim until somebody stopped her. Somebody from the Caps had to pick her up far earlier than that, just to force the pass to be earlier so you know where the ball's going to be. But if nobody's picking up the ball, you just keep going until somebody does, and then you can open up a 3-point play like that.
Unable to finish it off though. 52% from the charity stripe this season for Brianna Turner. The team still leading by 1. Just over a minute and a half left in this opening half. Of course, 1 point was the margin last time these two teams met. It was a great battle. Collier with that massive double-double. They're just short. She sees the ball let loose. Potch had 15 last time these two teams played as well, so potential for her to have another big outing tonight. She's on the 5 points so far. Andrews now finds Bourne. 5th 3 of the night.
Potch has got to do a better job of running her off the line. They're way too passive defensively. And with her athleticism and length, there's no reason she can't be closer to Bourne there.
Melbourne couldn't make the tough shot. It's with Adelaide again. In the 40s now. 43 plays 39. 4 on 17 points for the game. And done with all this time. Doing it all, is he born? Blaze. I mean, not too bad game herself with the 9 points. 4 from 10 from the field. Hold it. That pass cut off.
Collier was great off split line there, just stunting at the ball, made it really difficult for the passer to try and thread it through, which made a hesitation, and then the poor pass that she was able to pick off. Just that active on split line makes it so hard for the offense to try and get either feet or ball in the paint.
So is this finally the moment?
Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it.
I'll be quiet. I'll be quiet. And there it is, 1,000 WNBL career points for Jade Melbourne, the Gippsland Junior. She's an Asia Cup medalist, went to the Under-19 World Cup, All-Star 5 in that tournament, then went to the WNBA. It's her 5th season with the Caps. All first team and fans MVP last year, and now she's got the coveted 1,000 career points milestone. So big congratulations to Jade Melbourne. The team's still down by 2. And 2 shots to come.
That
crucial
hurts.
stage.
A little bit unlucky there. I mean, from first look, it looked clean, but that can happen. But the way the Caps have been sending penetration to those spots that we, behind the backboard and those push points has been really good. So they just need to continue with that, even if they do pick up a couple of fouls.
So timeout called, a 2-point margin between these 2 teams. Ford Dealers are all about supporting the game here in Australia, from Ford Aussie Hoops to the WNBL. We've been backing Aussie sports and communities for nearly 100 years, so when you're ready to hit the court, your local Ford dealer is here to help you get to the game. And it's a close battle as we expected, Zoe. I mean, we know what happened last time these 2 teams played, just the 1 point, and I think we're on track again.
Yeah, it looks that way, which is really exciting for the game, and it'll just be who can stay disciplined the longest. You see, teams start to sort of break out and get a little bit of a lead, and it's almost like they fall asleep and let the other team back in. So whoever can keep that discipline, both offensively and defensively, will take out this game.
So just before that timeout, Jade Melbourne on screen hit 1,000 career points, now sitting on 1,001 after those 2 made free throws. Of course, 174 games. Or 5th game for this season as well. 5 points for this season. 5 points for this game, 174 points for this season. 1,001 in her career. That's a lot of numbers to talk about. And it's no surprise that Jade Melbourne's already hitting these heights in her young career.
Absolutely. She is all those things that you mentioned before, but she's also an all-time human being. So a real role model for this league and for young athletes. And it's going to be so exciting to just watch her journey.
Great milestone also for Nicole Munger in her 50th game. Can she launch a 3 to finish off the opening half? She can. Great finish there by Nicole Munger. And it's the Caps who take a halftime lead. A wonderful comeback in that quarter and do not go anywhere. A 1-point ball game again between these 2 teams after the first half.
Composure. Jackson blows the roof off. Wow, it's LJ the GOAT. There's Jackson again.
Well, that's something that they're going to have to take care of business.
Through every heartache, through every cheer, we won't give up till the final buzzer. We've never been more ready.
Need the composure. Jackson blows the roof off. Wow, it's LJ the GOAT. There's Jackson again.
Well, that's something that they're going to have to take care of business.
Through every heartache, through every cheer, we won't give up till the final buzzer. We've never been more ready.
Get closer to the game with the free WNBL app.
Clark with the N1!
Check out the fixture and grab your tickets.
What a finish to the third quarter!
Catch game highlights, stay connected to your favourite player or team, and follow live game stats. Anytime, anywhere.
Cole cracks two more.
The WNBL app is where it's at. Download now.
Celebrating 50 years of sneakers?
For a delicious dinner that disappears and lets you squeeze in one more episode before bed. Pick up Latina Fresh, Australia's favourite pasta and sauce. Latina, we got the weeknight.
Ford dealers have backed sport in communities for nearly 100 years. And now, from the Boomers and Opals to Aussie Hoops, your local Ford dealer is proud to support basketball. Because all dreams start somewhere.
Welcome back to the Adelaide 36ers arena, where it's the Capitals leading the Lightning by 1 point at half-time. It was Adelaide with the hot start to lead by 6 at the end of the first period, but to their credit, the Caps finding their way back into the game, Zoe.
Yeah, they did an outstanding job, especially in that second quarter. We spoke about at the end of the first quarter that the Caps had 6 turnovers. They only have 7, so they only gave the ball up once in that quarter. That's the kind of ball security they're going to have to continue with if they're going to be a chance of winning this game. But Adelaide shooting 40% from the 3-point line, mostly thanks to Izzy Vaughan, who's 5 from 6, but we know that they're capable of that, so the Caps are going to have to look at that. But also, you've got Turner already on a double-double with 10 and 10, so players just stepping up left and right for both groups.
Yeah, how good is the battle of those bigs being? Collier also on 14 points and 8 rebounds, just shy of that double-double, but she'll get there, so.
Absolutely, she'll get there this quarter. So it's really exciting to see that level of talent across this one game.
And how good that we've already got 4 players in double digits at halftime across both teams. So Vaughan with the 17 points. We mentioned her hot streak for the 3-point line. Turner with the 10. Holly with the 14, as you mentioned. And Nicole Munger got to 11 points on the back of that buzzer-beating 3 to end the half. So
yeah, Adelaide would be pretty disappointed with that being able to be even just shot, let alone gone in. They would have wanted to make sure they locked that down and made that a little more difficult. But they'll move on from that. This quarter's a new quarter and pretty much a new game because we're almost 0-0 here to start this third quarter. So they'll be looking to recreate their start that they had at the start of this game.
Before we get into the exciting second half, let's take a look at the top 5 players of the last round.
Rochi driving. And it's good. Good aggressive take from Rochi.
Quick trigger for Bendigo.
Doesn't quite get it to go. Vega finding herself in all the right spots and converts. Bongi lets it rip.
How's that from the 18-year-old? Such poise, great finish.
For one leg, if you don't mind.
5.5 minutes remaining. Oh, gee, Wood's gotten their way. Did you believe that? Burton can capitalise here and does so efficiently. How often do you see that? The pressure really starting to come to the fore.
They have to say yes because your coaches are in your way. Yes, they're training every day up at 6 a.m. and going on the runs and all that sort of stuff, and they're just training in the house there. Yep, great answers so far, absolutely killing it. Now, what division do you play in for North? That's pretty exciting, it's pretty good. What's your favourite thing about playing basketball for the Northern Flames? Love it. Now, who is your favourite Adelaide Lightning player? Is he a guess? Well, there's two of them, so you can take a guess at which one you want. Thank you so much for joining us right now on the count of three. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to throw the mic over to you. You're going to give us a huge go line into this microphone. You ready? We're going to catch it first. This worked way better in rehearsal, sorry. Come on, we're going to give this 1, 2, 3, then we're going to do it. You ready to go? 1, 2, 3. Go Lightning! Nailed it! Just give us a ring for the Northern Flames. Australian Mothers Club of the round. Northern Flames.
It's the exhibition to go play. Get going with minus field penalties like meetings. Go adventure with 1,500 on field and a quick score standing on the controls. And go further with 2,500 on field and generous scoring control. All backed by Australia's first 10-year warranty with 10-inch cover. You're good to go with the exhibition offering December 30.
For over 25 years, HPG Homes has been helping South Australians build and own their dream home. Whether it's a house in land package, custom build, or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes on the way. We're committed to quality, affordability, and creating a more of life for you and your family. Fixed price, term. It's got to be HPG. HPG Homes.
Welcome back to Adelaide, where it's a 1-point ball game for your Friday night. Julian Mazzano and Zoe Carr with you, and we've been amazed at the work of Izzy Vaughan, who sits on 17 points, including 5 from 6 from three-point land and 6 from 11 from the field. So she's amazing.
She's been incredible, and just the confidence for her to be able to catch and shoot those threes in rhythm and not really care who's in front of her. Just letting them fly, which is it's just great to see. And you see shots like bank threes start to go in when you're playing with that sort of confidence. So she'll be keen to continue that run, and obviously the Caps will be keen to shut her down.
14 points at the end of the first quarter. She slowed down a touch in the second quarter, so they got their wish slightly, but they do have to keep slowing her down because it's like fire up any second. Well, you may notice today that players from both teams have a purple band around the top of their singlet. This band is a powerful symbol of support for survivors of domestic violence. This season, the WNBL, clubs, athletes and the Players Association have united to raise awareness around this critical issue. Enough is enough. A life free from violence is possible, and when everyone plays a role, real change happens. Learn how you can be part of the solution by visiting Full Stop Australia. So an amazing initiative from the league, and an amazing game being played out in front of us. We've spoken about this last meeting a few times throughout the game, but we'll remind you again, it was a 1-point thriller in round 7 between these two teams. It was Adelaide getting the job done 68-67, and at halftime of this one, we find ourselves with the Capitals 44-43. Is it their chance to get revenge, perhaps?
Well, it could be, and one of the things that might come into play here is that the starters for the Adelaide Lightning have played very big minutes. So if they can't get more rotation through their players, fatigue might become a factor into the fourth quarter. So obviously they're all super fit, but if it could be something that really ends up the difference in this game.
You can see the bench points for Adelaide 3 and for the Caps it's 11. So a bit of the difference there. You can see on court, Adelaide are going to stick with those starters again. Of course, the coaches always speak about the first sort of 5 minutes coming out of the halftime break, and I'm sure Adelaide and Scott Nitters would be trying to capitalise on that.
Yeah, it's a really important part because the break can, really break your momentum. So they'll be looking to try and recapture that and just get back to what was working for them. That's a good look for them coming off that sideline, having Izzy Borlase come off that Iverson cut and looking to attack. More of that, even though it didn't go in, that's still a good look for the Lightning.
Potch driving and getting the first points for the Caps of the second half. Class 1 to come.
And we spoke about this in the first half. We want to see Potch be more aggressive on the rim, especially in this matchup where she's got the length. So if she can get anywhere close to that charge circle, she's able to play above and be able to draw those fouls. So a really good first play and execution from the Caps.
Fortunately, just missed the free throw. Interestingly for Adelaide, they've only made 1 of 5 of their free throws so far for the game. Down by 3 at the moment.
And a good read here from Borlase too to attack that back cut. It's going to be crucial for the Caps that they are disruptive defensively, so things like back cuts will become available.
Great step through by Borlase on Melbourne. Gets her team back within a point. How good is the battle be between those two this time? Borlase commits the foul. We of course saw Jade Melbourne reach 1,000 WNBL career points just before the halftime break. She had to do it the hard way tonight. Only the 1 field goal for her 5 points. Dishes it to Collier. Just too much heat on the shot. Turner comes flying through and goes all the way.
And again, that's that defensive transition from the Caps, just allowing her to go coast to coast and score. That ball's got to be picked up as early as possible.
Collier getting to work on the smaller Andrews and rises above.
And a great response from Collier there too. She thought she was a little bit unlucky on the previous play, but to be able to regain her composure and look to attack and finish, that's what the Caps need from her tonight.
We spoke about it earlier with Talbot flying down the court and having no one to stop her, and we just see the same thing again. So got a clear area of improvement there for the Caps. Let's see if they can replicate some of that Adelaide run. Melbourne does just that.
A beautiful take from Jade Melbourne there too. A great screen which caused the switch, but Bourne just unable to stay in front of her as she went from slow to fast. I talk about it a lot. Change of pace is so hard to guard, and we just saw that there.
Potch on the move. Munga finds Horvat. Turner gets there just in time. Horvat with the offensive rebound. Collier driving in, kicking it out. Munga for three. Adelaide bench thought they were a bit unlucky there. Lays now. Play on. Caps go coast to coast. Melbourne again to Collier. See what the call is.
And that wasn't a bad shot from Collier there. She definitely can make that, but I would have liked the extra out to Potch, who was wide open on the three-point line. I think if they can get her going from the perimeter, it'll open up all kinds of things for everybody, because then they'll have to close out further on her and she'll be able to attack the rim, which will create for everybody else.
Quick catch and shoot from Munga is good.
And when the Caps hit bodies on their screen, they are very hard to guard. They're getting open shots and open looks and converting. So again, it's got to be a focus for them going forward to make sure they continue to get easy looks.
Really strong drive from Borlase. Horvat couldn't contain her in the end, and she'll head to the line for two.
It's one of the brilliant things about Borlase, the balance and the strength that she has. She's able to take those hits and still keep in. Anybody else probably would have fallen over with that kind of hit, but she stays on her feet and is able to even look like she's going to shoot the ball to be able to get herself to the line. And again, to be able to do that at such a young age is really, really exciting for Australian basketball.
Coming off 18 points, 4 rebounds and 2 assists against Bendigo. Last time she played the Caps had 22, 8 and 3. So she's used to stuffing the stat sheet, Izzy Borlase, that's safe to say. 7th in the league for points per game with 16. 11 for the night so far. Adelaide Lightning get it back. Borlase goes again, and she's got the hot hand in this quarter.
And you look at that, Jade Melbourne was there, she was carrying hands, but they were wide rather than above the ball. Great shooters are still going to shoot that and be able to hit, so the hands got to get above the ball to try and deter that shot. She's too good of a shooter.
Oh, no look pass from Melbourne, didn't quite work to Horvat.
It's a good look, it's a good drive and drew the defense. Sometimes this happens, but the pressure that even that still puts on the D, because now they're going to be thinking if they get in that position again, do they come across, do they not, because it's going to open up if she was to catch that. So there's still positives coming out of that, even though obviously you would have preferred the catch and finish.
Borlase again lining it up in the third term.
She's really starting to just take over from where Vaughan left off, and that's the great thing about the Lightning. Anybody can step up at any time.
Melbourne this time wants a piece of the action, and she gets it. Just a break from all the Izzy Borlase scoring. Borlase free again, but Vaughan's going to trust herself down low and draws the foul.
And both teams were doing a really good job of getting the ball inside to their bigs and putting pressure on the defenders inside the paint. There's probably been a lot more post play in this game than we've seen in most other games this season. So it's, as a former big, it's exciting to watch. But you can see what it does. It draws fouls. It allows you to get to the line. It opens up for others in receiver spots. So both teams have done a great job at it, and that was a really good example of it there by the Lightning.
Borlase up to 9 points for the quarter, by the way. She's ballooned up to 18 points for the game. She's putting this team on her back and trying to guide them to a win. Right now, scores level, 55 apiece. And the turnover comes. They were really slow in the backcourt. The Caps on the other end, the Lightning looking to move it quickly.
And just that little half-court trap off the foul shot really threw the Caps there. Tofeano's got to stay in line with the ball and then just be a little more patient when it comes to her. She didn't have to make that pass just yet.
Talbot now stepping off Boya. Can't make the shot. We saw it in the first half where I think it was Turner trying to pass it back to Basham for the Lightning. So we've seen a few of the bigs hesitating when they've got to try and bring the ball down. Boulaze though, no hesitation in her game at all. Gives it to her mate. Izzy board 6!
And again, the ball wasn't stopped until inside the paint. The Caps have got to declare the ball earlier and slow it down. When Adelaide are able to run, they are dangerous. So they've got to get somebody on the ball as quickly as possible and don't allow them to get the feet so deep in the paint.
Good bank shot there from Collier, off balance, but still managed to put it through. Another display from Izzy Bourne and Izzy Boulaze. The team leading by just one. Talbot, she steps through.
A beautiful take from Talbot there again. Change of pace, being able to attack lower than Potch. And Potch just opened the gate, what we call open the gate a little bit. So she was a little too in line with the sideline rather than sort of toes to the halfway line and forcing her away from inside the paint. And she's got the ability to do that, but it's also very difficult against such a skilled Steph Talbot.
Went to Potch for that three, but unfortunately she just stepped out. So Adelaide get an opportunity to extend their lead. This is better D from the Caps here. Adelaide still looking to get inside the key. They've got to go quickly. 3 on the shot clock. Turner gets the, easy as you like, offensive rebound. Ball disrupted on the shot. 2 more to come.
And that's a tough one because that offensive rebound bouncing so far outside the, I think it bounced out nearly at the 3-point line. It's so hard to get those as the defense, but to have nobody around it and sort of ball watching once Turner came up with it, it's a great cut by Bourne just to be able to, again, put heat on the rim and get herself to the line.
22 points for the night for Bourne now.
It'll be interesting to see how the Caps handle this half-court trap now out of the foul shot. If they have somebody else maybe inbound the ball, maybe Munga will inbound the ball to be able to have that guard staying up in line with the ball.
So your coach Zoe Curran or me, they've done exactly what you wanted them to. It just comes off for them, luckily. For Bongi now. Shot clock in single digits. He has been really good at creating. Once you get rewarded, not quite. Munga just picks it up. Can't knock down the shot. Eventually the ball goes back the way of Adelaide.
The fight from the Caps on the offensive boards has been outstanding, but particularly Collier and Munga, they've gone after everything. And eventually, you know, as this game wears on, they're going to be able to capitalise on that. There's going to be some opportunities that do come up.
It's an interesting little patch for the Caps. I feel like Adelaide have had the upper hand in this third term. Got a comfortable lead here. Nothing's comfortable in WNBL, but it's better than 1 point. And they extend it once again through Izzy Bourne.
And just again, that post play, getting the ball inside, and Adelaide doing a great job. They get their cross screen, and then as the down screen's happening, it's keeping the split line active so Bourne can look to go to work, and just that soft finish off the glass is just exactly what Adelaide are looking for right now.
Bourne is everywhere. Just when you thought the Bongi had the open look, she was right there to cause the block. Sends it back out of bounds. Boya now just gets off the feet. We'll call it. Turner not so sure about it. Either way, 64 plays 57. Just under 2.5 minutes left in the third term. It's been Izzy Boulaze this quarter, up to 18 points for the game. Izzy Bourne up to 23. Deeble, clever shot, just fell short. Here goes the running game from the Lightning. It ends up with Izzy Bourne again.
There is nothing she can't do in this game. She's hitting threes, she's post moves, she's running the floor. She is playing outstanding.
She's also scored the last 6 points of the game, but Munga has something to say about that. Gets involved at the right time. So now Adelaide leading by 6. 1 point split than last time these two teams met. Turner with the athletic look, just couldn't finish it off. They've got another chance at it though.
And Turner's been great at trying to finish in the air. It's one of those things, if you're looking to contest as a big on the rebound and you are surrounded by people, you bring it to the floor and now you're in trouble. So to contest it whilst in the air is a really good skill to have. She's had a couple come off in this game. Unfortunately, that one didn't, but it's something that she's clearly got in her toolkit.
Bigs. Turner with 12 and 16. Collier now with 18 and 10, so she's hit that double-double. Talbot to Bourne. Can she hit her 7th? Just falls short. Great hustle there from the veteran. Still on the floor, Steph Talbot eventually jump ball called.
And great hustle from both teams as well. Talbot putting her body on the line there just to make sure the Caps can't come up with it. And you know, when you see that from your veteran and most experienced players, it runs through the team. It's just contagious. So great job from Talbot there.
Just over a minute left. What a game this is turning out to be. I knew it was going to be close considering the last time these two teams met. Chance for Adelaide to go ahead in the series, a chance for the Caps to level it, get their first win since November.
And whilst that didn't come off, the intent to push the ball is what I want to see from the Caps, particularly when the Lightning have played such big minutes. Look to run, try and force them into some fatigue if you can, and put pressure on their defensive transition.
Nicole Munga seems the hot player at the moment. She finds Collier for 2.
And great ball movement, just finding the open players, drawing to, finding whoever's open. Great unselfish play.
Bourne up against Babongi. Great pass out to Talbot. The 3 just falls short. 30 seconds left. Can the Caps finish off the third term? Looking to use all of the shot clock. A 10-second difference between shot and game clock. Getting to work. Munga in the corner. Oh, money, Nicole Munga. Gets her team back within 1. Can Turner extend the lead? The shot falls short. They hold on to the rebound. And what a finish we have coming up in Adelaide. 1 point separates these two teams as it did at halftime. And at three-quarter time, it's the Lightning 66, leading the Caps 65.
Well, that's a really, really good start because
Adelaide, where it's the Lightning leading the Caps by just 1 point. And in the third quarter, the lead was all thanks to this woman on screen, Izzy Borlase, 18 points, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds for the game. Zoe Carr, she has lit it up and doing the 10 with Izzy Bourne as well.
She has just been was spectacular in that quarter and showed us a little highlights package of everything that she can do. She'll be looking to make as much of a mark on this quarter to try and close out this game, but her and Izzy Bourne have just dominated this game pretty much from the get-go. So the Caps will have to make sure they keep doing a job or trying to do a job on those two. The way they're playing at the moment, you're not going to stop them, but you have to make it hard. Even if they're hitting shots, make them difficult shots that can help either fatigue them or they're a chance of missing. You can't allow them to have wide open looks because they are shooting too well today.
But what a fourth quarter we have coming up. 1 point split these two teams at halftime, 1 point splits the two teams at three-quarter time, and 1 point split these two teams the last time they played. It was Adelaide 68 getting the job done over the Caps 67. We're already in the 60s now. Still got one more quarter to come.
It's a good drive there. If she could just come to a 2-foot stop rather than playing off 1 foot, that's where she got herself in trouble. And just as Talbot, being the exceptional defender that she is able to come across and force the change of direction. If she's in her 2-foot stop, she'd be able to pivot and make the score that she ended up making.
Borlase had a rip of third quarter and keeps her game going.
But that's the sort of scores you've got to force her into. She's good enough to make them, but they're difficult. So continue that and hope that towards the end of the game that they start to fall a little short.
9 points in that third term for Izzy Borlase. Nicole Munger's been lighting it up from three-point range. 19 points, 5 from 9 from the game. Adelaide are off and running. Jade Melbourne this time disrupts it. Fair few jump balls called in this game. You can see what this means to both teams. Both desperate to get back on the winners list. Adelaide coming off that big loss against the Bendigo Spirit. The Caps, they haven't won their past 5 games. Their last win came against Townsville in November. We all remember that 1-point thriller at the AIS Arena. What a game that was. Shows they're capable of taking down these big teams. And they do it away from home. Borlase swings it to Talbot. And ends back up with Steph Talbot. Has a look. Monique Babongi can get off and running. Has no one ahead of her. Just has to be a little bit careful. Has the composure. Melbourne has the speed. Can't finish it off. Was fouled on the way through. 2 shots to come.
And you just see there again using that offhand to create the foul. It's crafty and I very much enjoy it, but you can see why Turner's upset with that, because defensively she sort of played straight up and just sort of walled up, but Jade is creating that contact there. So really crafty from Jade Melbourne.
Jade Melbourne's got herself up to 10 points for the game, 2 rebounds and 5 assists. Hit that 1,000 career point milestone earlier on. Every point crucial this 4th term. And Melbourne's able to knock down both of those free throws. Andrews now. Borlase, underarm pass. Crowd willing that one to go in from Izzy Bourne. Up to 6 triples for the night. Babongi now playing a good stretch of minutes here. And there'll be a Caps ball.
Again, great fight from Unger there. Doesn't matter whether she's a chance of getting it or not. She's always attacking and putting pressure on the opposition.
Here she is again in her 50th game. Babongi now driving, stepping back, scooping it up. That would have been a miracle.
And good D from the Lightning there too, just to play straight up, force a really tough shot and not give up the foul. We've seen a lot this season where, you know, there's 1 or 2 seconds to go on the shot clock and someone puts their hands in, gets a little overzealous. So great job by the Lightning just to stay clean on that possession.
Andrews and Deeble going head to head. Great hands there by Collier. Cavs ball, great stop.
And that is the denial that we wanted earlier. We spoke about Jade Melbourne was putting a lot of pressure on the ball, and they just allowed the pressure release pass. That is that denial defense that we wanted to see, and great job, and you saw what it created. So great job from Collier there to be disruptive.
Melbourne able to pick up that pass. Gets to Katie Deeble. Turner collects the rebound. As we've seen her do so many times throughout her career. Talbot one way than the other. Collier keeping right with her. Great defense in the end. That's 2 good pieces of defense from Charlie Collier now. So Caps looking to run a play. Melbourne puts it up and goes on her own. Deceived us all.
Great poise too. And Deeble just with the steal there, to just show that pressure up the floor that she's known for. But great poise from Jade Melbourne on that previous possession.
She's taken this team on her back, Jade Melbourne. Potch fouled on the approach. A chance for them to extend their 1-point lead.
And you just see, you know, we see a lot players get down on themselves when they get blocked, but Jade Melbourne just continues to play, finds a cutting Potch to the rim, and has got herself to the line. So just that what's next mentality of, you know, just continuing to play through regardless of what happens has ended up in a 2 free throws for the Caps.
Well, for a quick and easy weeknight dinner that the whole family will enjoy, pick up a family pack of Latina Fresh pasta and sauce, ready in minutes and so delicious there won't be any complaints at the dinner table. Find Latina Fresh in a chilled pasta aisle near you. So Potch goes none from 2, and then Boya says, that's okay, I'll pick up the pieces. Big time 3 from India Boya.
She's been massive. We've spoken about it throughout the entire game, but to then knock down that 3 in transition, you see the Caps finally pushing in trans and putting pressure on Adelaide, and you saw they were all out of sorts. They couldn't find anybody there, so wide open catch and shoot, and a great job from Boya just to be able to be poised enough to nail it.
72 plays 68. A crucial timeout here. A rather well-deserved 3 for India Boya. She's had a really productive game. The stats might not show everything, but she's been doing super, super well. Well, Foot Locker is celebrating 50 years of sneakers. Celebrate 50 years and the current hoop season by grabbing the latest kicks and apparel at your nearest Foot Locker, the official major partner of WNBL. A chance for everyone to take their breath. It's been such an up and down, action-packed game. The biggest lead in this game has been 11 points, and that went the way of the Lightning right at the start of the game. But ever since then, it's been really back and forth, and I can't pick a winner.
Yeah, the Adelaide will respond to this. They'll come out of this timeout and they'll look to execute. And I love seeing the joy in the Caps off that there, but they have to make sure, again, these are the sort of times where we've seen throughout the season where they've sort of switched off a little bit and had those little youth errors. So they've got to lock in now and make sure that they continue to defend, especially off this possession here, because Adelaide will be looking for something specific. So lock in defensively, get a couple of stops so they can just calm it down out of the timeout.
Talbot just misses the jumper.
You can just see from the tempo control from Jade Melbourne too. She's not in a rush. She wants to make sure these offenses are as long as possible. Want to be as good as possible, but execute long offense, take some time off the clock.
Boya with the hot hands, but this time the pass just got cut off by Talbot. Ball lays, speaking of hot hands, just one short. And here is Melbourne again. Spoke about that change of speed. She's one of the best at it. Was up for a three. That one fell short. Here she is running back on defense, and Bourne able to respond on the other end.
And again, running the floor from Bourne as one of your bigger players, being able to get out and run like that is such a luxury for the Lightning.
72 plays 70. Halfway through the fourth term. Collier goes again and gets it to go. Great hustle.
And a great little hesitation there from Katie Diebel too, that didn't finish the shot, but because of what she was able to open up and drawing that defense, it opened up the offensive rebound for Collier, who was able to then convert.
Bolays. Everyone having a go from the three-point line tonight. Why not? Both teams shooting at a relatively good clip. 44% for Adelaide. And all of a sudden the Caps up to 42%.
You can see Adelaide have just gone empty on their last few possessions, so they really need to, once they're back in offense, look to execute and get high percentage looks, because this is starting to swing the momentum towards the Caps.
Melbourne gets the lead back up to 6. Good D here by Potch. Still with Steph Talbot. Turner driving. Potch hits the deck. Big call there. Big call.
There was a flop warning earlier, so that's why it's gone straight to a tech, but
very big call. You don't often see that in WNBL.
But it was good to see Potch switch out and get her body in the lane and take the hit as well. So again, things are going to happen and you have to play through them. But the intent from the Caps, particularly defensively, has been really good. So Coach Paul Goris won't be too fussed with that. He'll just want to make sure that they get a stop here and are able to then go back down the offensive end and look to convert.
So Bolays cut the margin, down to 5. And Potch, what a good response there. Couldn't go along with it. Able to bounce back. There's the 7 points and 4 rebounds for the game, Nadia Potch. Referee's just converging to have a quick check. Scotty was trying to influence things on the sideline as well.
Good coaching.
He's already made his way very well into the WNBL. Now it's starting to get a bit physical.
And this is where the Caps just have to be careful with the ball, because Lightning is starting to get a little bit frustrated, so you are starting to see the physicality build, and sometimes that can relate in some, if there isn't a call, some fumbles and some loose balls. So they need to make sure that their ball security is really tight and they don't just give the ball away to the Lightning.
Melbourne on the left, banks it in.
A great finish from Melbourne there. She's pumped, and so she should be.
She's had a fantastic fourth term. The Caps leading 78-71. 3.5 minutes left in this game. What a beautiful finish from Jade Melbourne.
And I like this timeout from Coach Scott Ninnis as well, though, because some people like to hold on to their timeouts, but this is starting to get the momentum so far towards the Caps that it's going to be really hard to claw back if they don't do something about it now. So I like the intervention here, and hopefully Adelaide can come out of this timeout and look to execute their offense and look to put the ball back inside. I think they've got to go back to Bourne inside, put pressure on the Caps and find their open players from there. But it'll be interesting to see if the Caps come out in any sort of different defensive look here out of this timeout, just to try and confuse or cause a little bit of chaos to the Lightning.
One person the Lightning has to stop is Jade Melbourne. She's up to 8 points in this quarter alone, and the Caps have gone on a 13-5 run, now leading 78-71. Even that woman on screen, Nicole Munger's 50th game, so a lot to play for the Caps. Equally a lot to play for the Lightning. Big few minutes coming up. Just 1 point separated these two teams last time they played. What does these final few minutes have in store for us at the Adelaide 36ers Arena? 7 points between these two teams. Collier knocks it out of bounds.
And you can just see the Caps, their body language, they're up and about, they're chasing things down, they're taking hits, and that's where Adelaide have to make sure that they don't allow that to get on top of them.
Need to score here, the Lightning. An uncharacteristic error from Talbot. Great defense there from the Caps. This could be a big moment for them. Melbourne again changing the pace. Poch, Munga, Collier. Easy as you like in the end.
And great composure there from Collier too. It looked like the pass to Diebel was going to be the right pass, but the rotation from Adelaide was really good and she got there and cut it off. So to be able to keep it high and finish over the top, and then to come up with a stop as with the Caps, things are just rolling for them right now.
Huge couple of stops here for the Caps away from home. 80 plays 71. Just over 2.5 minutes left in this game. Can they hold on, or can Adelaide get back to their first quarter form and take this game away? Get back on the winners list. Great pass to Collier. It was like a rocket.
I got to be honest, I did not see that pass coming. That was next level. The ability to look away, to pass outside her body, and to hit her on the hands was just fantastic. I think Collier might have been a little stunned by it as well, but again, a pass like that has now got Collier to the line.
Every shot crucial here. She misses the first one. Gets the second one to go. 25 points, 16 rebounds for Collier. Of course, she had 27 and 22 last time these two teams met, so she loves playing against the Adelaide Lightning. 10-point lead now for the Caps. Adelaide need to go, but Munga steals it in her 50th WNBL game. Can she seal the win for the Caps? Timeout called. Nicole Munga on fire.
And you just saw that defensive set there. The Caps were all on the same page with their switching defense. They moved between each other. There was communication, which forced that cross-court pass. And against switching defense, skip passes are really dangerous, and you saw why. Great job from Munga being able to come off the split line there and steal that, and obviously finish, because those layups are one of the hardest in the game when you're wide open.
27-year-old in her 50th WNBL game, a Dawson Jr., two-time NBL 1 East MVP. She was playing so well in the NBL 1 East. Someone had to pick her up, and the Caps responded. Won their Players Player in the 22/23 season. Of course, spent some time at the University of Michigan and in Spain. And she's having a really good outing today. 21 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 threes, if you don't mind, for Nicole Munga. Really stepping it up in game 50.
So good, but it's not done. This Adelaide team is good enough to peg this back here, and especially with the way they have shot the ball in this game. So the Caps need to, as exciting as it is and as happy and joyful as they are, again, they've got to lock back in out of this timeout, because Adelaide's about to throw something at them. And it's likely going to be, obviously, an execution here, and then up the floor defensively. There's going to be bulk pressure, maybe traps, run and jumps, but they're going to throw as much pressure at them to cause deflections and turnovers as possible.
It's in the right hands of Izzy Borlase, gets fouled. 21 points for her this game. She's 3 from 3 from the line. Crucial free throws coming up. Everyone in the arena holds their breath as she gets the first one to go. And ends that scoring run from the Caps.
The Caps just need to make sure they're in their press breaker here. Stay poised, don't get sped up by Adelaide.
Paul Goris watching on nervously. His 7th year of coaching, it doesn't get any easier. 10-point lead for the Caps. Under 2 minutes left in this game. Melbourne's been so good at controlling the tempo of the offense for the Capitals. Still in the hands of their captain, Jade Melbourne goes all the way, can't finish it off.
Change of pace there again, creates that opportunity for her. Not quite able to finish it off, but a good look and a lot of time taken off the clock, which is just as good for the Caps right now.
Adelaide still working it into the right spot. Basham banks it in. 75-83. Diva finds herself open.
And the Caps just need to make sure they don't go negative here. You want to make sure you take time off the clock and make sure of your opportunities, but don't go negative. Take opportunities like that, attack the rim if they're there, because sometimes when you go negative, it plays into the hands of the opposition.
Oh, it just rattles out. And Jade Melbourne, she's been massive in this 4th term. Under a minute left, her team leading by 10. She's going to try and soak up as much time as she can on the shot clock, as she has been doing for the entire game. Gets it out to Munga, who's lit it up from 3-point range. Nicole Munga again!
What a game to have in your milestone game, 50th game, and she has stepped up. She's been massive at every opportunity. Great job from Nicole Munga tonight.
It's been the Nicole Munga show in tandem with Jade Melbourne. 24 points for Munga, 20 for Melbourne. 6 triples for Nicole Munga in WNBL game 50. 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Jade Melbourne can't join the party.
You'll forgive her for being a little bit tired.
They get one more go at it, but what a performance it's been from the UC Capitals. Home, away from home, they get the job done, 88-77. They end a 5-game losing streak. They win their first game since November in Nicole Munga's 50th, in a game where Jade Melbourne reached 1,000 WNBL career points. They get the win by 11, away from home against the Adelaide Lightning. They really grind their way through it, Zoe Carr, but what a performance from Paul Goris's team. They taste winning success. They've had games where they've been there or thereabouts in the last month or so, but just feels good when you're winning.
We knew the Caps had this in them from even the start of the season, but you know, how often do you as a team have two players 29 and 25 points and lose? Like that's it. So the Caps have done an outstanding job on the scoreboard and spread the scoring load and just worked the ball beautifully and stepped up defensively when they needed to and being able to be on that same page really when they needed it. But you saw a little bit of fatigue set in for the Lightning, but you know, they're a quality team and they won't be deterred from this. They'll come back out and they'll still continue to beat some teams this season.
What an offensive masterclass this was for both teams, really. You spoke about the 29 and 25 for the Lightning, but how about 3 players for the Caps in 20 or more points? Melbourne with 20, Munga with 24, Collier with 25, and the 16 rebounds if you don't mind. She had an outstanding game. It was a great battle between her and Turner throughout, but Charlie Collier won her way through and she really loves playing against this Adelaide Lightning team.
Yeah, and she did an outstanding job. She didn't try and force anything. She just let it come to her and played her game, and that's the best I think I've seen her all-round play this season. So it's really exciting signs for the Caps that she's starting to play like this. So hopefully they can use that and string some more wins together as the season goes on.
It was a really improved performance from the Caps. We saw last week they were leading at halftime against the Perth Lynx, then just dropped off in the second half, lost by 9 in the end. But this time, they came out really strong in that 4th term, 23 points to 11. And of course, we know Charlie Collier was a big part of it, but they seemed to really play for each other. What a great team performance it was.
Yeah, and you can tell they learned their lessons from that last game of not allowing that sort of dropping their bundle a little bit in the fourth quarter. That's when they really pulled together as a group, and Collier in particular steps up and particularly defensively, she was a menace defensively inside the paint. So you saw that they have, they've watched their tape, they've learned their lessons, and it's really good signs for the Caps. But, it's hard to not talk about the Lightning though too, because they had such a good game offensively in particular. And the way they started that game, it was looking like they were going to put on 150. But, these sort of things happen, and we talked about at the start of the game, it's about 4 quarters, and they just sort of fell away in that fourth.
Well, all of a sudden, the Canberra Capitals have a chance to go 2 from 2. They come up against Geelong at their home AIS Arena on Sunday. Adelaide have the tough road trip and have to try and bounce back against Perth. And then tomorrow night, that's always a great game. South side of Townsville. We're set for a ripper finish to round 10.
We do, and that game tomorrow is the one I'm really excited to see, because obviously the Flyers probably aren't where they want to be for this season, so they'll be hungry to get the win, and Townsville obviously looking to shape up as they lead into finals. So that's going to be a really exciting one to watch.
It's always exciting times in the Signet WNBL. Of course, last time the two teams tonight met, it was Adelaide getting the job done by 1 point, and tonight it was the UC Capitals getting their revenge by 11.
Ellis driving baseline. What a dive!
Wickham, how sweet was that?
Step back three.
Wow.
Taylor George.
She's got a flamethrower at the moment.
Shelley with a big triple.
It was acrobatic, it was impressive, it was Steph Talbot.
Jade Melwin, the lefty lay-in. Capitals continue to roll. Perth have been unconscious from 3. Alice Koenig connects.
She's pumped up, and so she should be.